Hi, everybody. This is Mrs. Nielsen, and I'm doing a Jamboard introduction today. Let's look at our learning agenda. Our learning agenda for today is we are going to discuss the purpose of Jamboard. We're going to learn about the tools on Jamboard, and we're going to list the do's and don'ts for Jamboard. The purpose of Jamboard. Jamboard is an online whiteboard where students and teachers can work together, sharing opinions and gathering information. On Jamboard, a teacher could post a topic, a question, or an activity, and students can respond by placing virtual post-it notes on the board. Post-its can be moved, rearranged, edited, or changed as the class engages in discussion and shares ideas. Jamboard tools. The sticky note tool. The sticky note tool is used to place your ideas and thoughts on Jamboard. This tool right here is the sticky note tool. If you click on it, it will allow you to type, and you can also change the color. Once you are done with your sticky note, it will appear on the Jamboard. You can do different things with your sticky note. You can make it larger, you can make it smaller. Using these three dots, you can edit it. If you wanted to put the same answer in more than one category, you could duplicate it. Or if you didn't like your sticky note and you wanted to get rid of it, you can delete it. The pen tool. On some Jamboards, you're going to find that the board is blank. And on these boards, you can use your pen to draw or to write. And you can change the type of pen that you use by clicking on the tool. Some of the line is thicker and some is more fine. You can also change the color of your pen. If you want to erase, you can use the eraser tool to erase what you've done. The laser. The laser is an interesting tool. If you have ideas on your Jamboard and you want to show them to the class, let's say you're doing a presentation and you want to show them your ideas, you can click on the laser tool. Let me get to a page that has a little bit of room. It creates a line for a very short amount of time. So let's say you were connecting ideas from one side of the Jamboard to the other. You might use the laser tool to connect those ideas, and then that line is not permanent, it goes away. If you were designing a Jamboard, if you by yourself or you and a group of people were creating a Jamboard for a class presentation, you might use some of the other tools on the Jamboard platform. The first thing is text box. This little square with a T in the four corners is a text box. You would probably use that to put a heading on your Jamboard, or you might use the text box to create categories. And those categories can go under the heading. Another tool is the pointer. When you're designing your Jamboard, you can use the pointer to move things around on the Jamboard and to rearrange things. The image tool allows you to place images in your Jamboard. Now you are going to either need to do a Google image search where you would put the name of something in there, and then you could choose an image to select and insert, or you can also do a separate search and you can place that in your Google Drive and access the image through that. The zoom tool. Let's say that you want to look at your Jamboard a little further out. You might make the Jamboard smaller. Or let's say you're working on something very detailed, you might make the Jamboard bigger. But most people use the 50% because that shows the whole Jamboard and it's a fairly good size for for the Jamboard. Background. The background can be changed on your Jamboard. You can change it to anything you want. There's some colors there. There's some patterns. You can keep it white. You can make it black. And last is the last tool I'd like to talk about is the clear frame. Now be careful when using this. If you're designing a Jamboard, if you click clear frame, it takes away everything that you have inserted on the Jamboard except for the background. If you accidentally hit clear frame, what I would recommend you do is use the back or the forward buttons. That helps you to go back a step or go forward a step. Those are the tools of Jamboard, and now we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of Jamboard. Just like any other tool that we use, such as Google Classroom, Kami, or any of those other tools, you have a responsibility as a student to use the tool appropriately. So let's talk about some things that you might do on a Jamboard and some things that you want to avoid. One thing that you might want to do is share your thoughts honestly. I know that Jamboard will probably be used to gather opinions. And sometimes when you see the class has a very strong opinion about something, but your opinion differs, it might be tempting to just go with the crowd and choose the opinion that is most popular. But the best discussions come from people that have differing opinions. So if you truly don't believe what other people are putting, make sure that your response is honest and is true to what you believe. One thing that you don't want to do is to move or mess with anyone else's stickies unless asked to. So let's go back to one of the Jamboards. You notice that some of these Jamboards already have stickies placed on them. If you see that another student has placed a sticky on a Jamboard, please do not move it or edit it in any way unless you're asked to do so. One thing that you do want to do is to read other stickies. It's not just about what you post, it's about what other students post also. So you're going to want to go and you're going to read what other people have put on there. You'll learn some things and you'll see different opinions about things. One thing that you don't want to do is use the Jamboard inappropriately. Let's say that everybody is placing stickies on there. It wouldn't be appropriate to start using the draw tool or the pen tool and start drawing all over the board while people are placing stickies. Remember, unless you're asked to do it, the best bet is to not do it. And the last thing that you should do is enjoy it. Jamboard is a fun way to gather opinions and to see how other people feel about certain topics or ideas. I have some Jamboards prepared for you, and your teacher may go over those Jamboards and allow you to practice your skills. So let's go one more time over how you would add a sticky to a Jamboard. Let's say we were talking about cubs or cards. You notice that I have several Jamboards in a row. You'll want to look for the one that has your teacher's first initial. So if you're in Mrs. Nielsen's class, you would look for 6N. If you're in Miss Ferguson's class, you would look for 6F. And you're going to add your sticky to that Jamboard. You'll notice that there are 2 of every Jamboard. So there's 2 Cubs or Cards Jamboards. There's 2 Coke, Pepsi, and Mountain Dew Jamboards. And there's 2 Pizza or Cheeseburgers Jamboards. And we're going to talk about each one of these. You'll find the Jamboard that fits your class, and then you're going to look at it. Each Jamboard that I designed has a different purpose. The first one asks your opinion, but also asks you to give a reason why. Some Jamboards will do that and some Jamboards won't. So if you think about the number of stickies that you have to add to this Jamboard, the number is 2. You would click on the sticky tool. For the first one, you'll want to put Cubs or Cards. You'll want to change the color if you want to change it. And you'll want to place your sticky where it needs to go. But since you're doing 2 stickies for this one, I would recommend you do both stickies and then move them. So let's say you like the cards. Maybe you think the cards are the best team ever. So you would write that. You would save. And then when you're done placing stickies, you can click cancel. and then you can use the pointer tool to move your stickies where they need to go. You'll want to place your stickies across from one another so that we know which one is yours. Now you're going to have to get creative because there's going to be several other students that are placing stickies also. Maybe you do something like this. Maybe you place them slightly over one another so that they're together. As long as your stickies are together on this first board, you'll be good to go. It's going to get very crowded. So maybe what you do is you make the sticky a little smaller so that other people can fit their stickies in. Now for the next Jamboard that you're going to use, you're also going to find your teacher. And this one is just a one sticky response. We want to know if you like Coke, Pepsi, or Mountain Dew. And maybe you don't like any of them. Maybe you make another category over to the side that says none of them, and you put what you want to put as your favorite drink. But for this one, we're going to ask you to put your name. Sometimes we want to know who's saying what, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we want anonymous input. Like on our first Jamboard, you're not asked to put your name. And then sometimes we want to see who thinks what, so we can identify maybe somebody that we need to talk to later about what they don't understand or what they do understand. There's lots of purposes for putting your name. But for this one, you're going to put your name, and you're going to save your sticky and then click cancel. And then you're going to make sure that you're on the pointer tool, and you're going to put your sticky where you think it belongs. If you don't like any of these products, I would recommend putting it somewhere over here so that we know that you're not a fan of any of those. And then on the last Jamboard, sometimes we'll use an image or a graphic organizer, and we'll place stickies on the graphic organizer. So this one is a Venn diagram, and you'll notice there are 3 areas that you can place stickies on. You can place them on this side if you like pizza. You can place them on this side if you like cheeseburgers. And then you notice that I placed a sticky already in the middle. And I'm going to move that actually. You can place a sticky outside of the Venn diagram if you like something else. Like I said, I like mashed potatoes. Or you can place your sticky in the middle if you like both pizza and cheeseburgers together equally. And on this one, you'll have to put your name if you like pizza or cheeseburgers. And you'll have to put your name and what you like if you don't like pizza or cheeseburgers and your favorite food is something else. So those are our Jamboards for today, and that's the overview of Jamboard for today. Thank you very much.